Universal Orlando has revealed details on one of the 5 new worlds coming to Universal's Epic Universe, called Dark Universe. From brand new rides to new restaurants, here's everything coming to Dark Universe when Epic Universe opens next year. Inside this new world, it is a new land based on the Universal monsters, where guests will enter Darkmoor, a village home to monsters, monster makers, monster hunters, and the villagers trying to survive. As for the portal, there's a coil that'll crackle with electricity, representing the eternal struggle of science against death. And when you're entering inside, you'll head inside a decaying, foggy cemetery on the edges of the village of Darkmoor. There are upended tombstones and twisted roots, as things don't stay buried here long. With this land, this is a world beyond, where not only can these stories come together, but new stories can come in as well, as you're in the same place where all those stories come together, set in the current day. When you enter the village of Darkmoor, you first see the Darkmoor monster makeup experience. This experience is where guests can become monstrous as they don elaborate face paint and temporary tattoos. According to Universal, monster makers have converted Dr. Pretorius's infamous old lab into a parlor to continue the spirit of his demented experiments, and skilled artisans use their talents to transform guests' outer appearances so they can showcase their fandom for the Universal monsters. You can also meet monsters inside the land, whether that's meeting some of the Universal monsters, such as Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's monster, or the Bride of Frankenstein. Other characters include Victoria Frankenstein's servant, Iger, the Invisible Man, an eccentric monster hunter, and a talented musician who regales guests with songs and tales of the classic Universal Monsters stories. Nearby the Darkmoor monster makeup experience, there are retail locations inside the village, such as Pretorius's Scientific Oddities, where guests can buy commemorative merchandise and souvenirs. And for those looking for some food, there's Das Steakhouse. This is Darkmoor's most ominous restaurant, a dining hall run by vampire familiars who size up unsuspecting patrons to be part of the vampire's feast. There are all sorts of artwork and artifacts detailing the history of the village's creatures, as you can get kebabs, burgers, sandwiches, and more. But going past Darkmoor Village, you enter inside the manor's grounds, where there's a total of 2 rides, a family coaster called Curse of the Werewolf, and their e-ticket attraction, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment. Let's first discuss Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, because inside this attraction is Universal Orlando's most terrifying attraction yet. Universal says this state-of-the-art dark ride takes guests deep into the catacombs of Frankenstein Manor, where Dr. Victoria Frankenstein conducts her twisted experiments. In a vain display of her genius, she invites guests into her laboratory to witness a demonstration of her ability to control monsters, but her plan goes awry when her attempts to control the most dangerous monsters, Dracula, fail, unleashing a horde of enraged monsters. Guests are then thrust into an intense ride through the darkness as they try to evade the grasp of the Wolfman, the Mummy, the creature from the Black Lagoon, the brides of Dracula, and others. Guests must be 48 inches or taller, and the ride will also use the same technology as the Harry Potter and Forbidden Journey with the Kukuron technology. However, the vehicle will be more open without the barrier, so you'll be able to see much more of the ride than Forbidden Journey. Next to Monsters Unchained is Curse of the Werewolf, a spinning family roller coaster inspired by the Wolfman. According to Universal, guests will enter the encampment of the Guild of Mystics, where they'll be greeted by the Maleva, the guild's all-knowing seer and leader, who warns them that they bear the mark of the werewolf. Guests then board a wagon and venture into the forest, racing to escape the werewolves before they become one themselves. Guests will need to be 40 inches or taller in order to ride this coaster, and just like Monsters Unchained, these two rides are the rides I personally cannot wait to ride. But moving right along, there is DeLacy's Cottage nearby Frankenstein Manor, a food stand where you can find a variety of snacks and cool treats like cinnamon bread, ice cream, tater tots, and more. And at the edge of Dark Universe, last but not least, there is the Burning Blade Tavern. This is a bar where Universal says, despite the blades of the windmill still smoldering and flaming periodically, Darkmoor's monster hunters have transformed this old fiery mill into their favorite hangout. There's a menu of burgers, wings, bratwurst, pretzels, and specialty beverages, and you can also hear the stories of the infamous Hounds, these boastful hunters from beyond Darkmoor, all while surrounded by a display of the monster heads that they considered their trophies. And when it comes to the fire on the windmill, it actually happens several times per hour. With this new land, while Epic Universe is going to be family friendly, Universal says that Dark Universe will be more PG-13. And honestly, this is one of my most anticipated lands in this theme park, especially when it comes to the two rides and its immersive theming. But let me know your thoughts on Dark Universe. Are you excited for the land? If you want to help support the channel, make sure you subscribe and like the video for more videos. As always, until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.